Hey folks, how you guys doing? Hope you're all having a great day today. I've got 4 bookcases in my house. All 4 of them are for my wife. All 4 of them are full, and I need to make another one for my wife. But I'm not going to. Instead, I'm making a bookcase for my office, part of the office renovation series, and hopefully I can get this office done sooner rather than later. So this bookcase design is going to be very easy. It's just basic dado joinery with some adjustable shelves and a simple face frame. Very simple, which is the whole theme of that office. I don't want the office to be anything crazy. It's just simple, modern, and a couple little pieces of babinga trim here and there to match the computer desk. A full sheet of 3/4 inch plywood is really heavy, and trying to run a full sheet through a table saw is doable, but it's not fun at all, and it can sometimes be a little sketchy if you don't have some help as you're running it through the saw. So instead of that, I'm going to break down the sheet of plywood first with a track saw to get some much more easily managed pieces that I can then take to the table saw. The first cut is a cross cut to get 11.5 inches off of one end, and that would be really difficult to do at the table saw. Next up, I'll split the remaining large piece right down the middle, and then the final cut with the track saw is to establish the total height of both side pieces. Here I realized I should have made one more cut with the track saw. This is an example of what you shouldn't be doing at the table saw. The piece is much longer than it is wide, so I don't have much reference area up against the fence, and you have a potential to, the weight of the piece, the size of the piece has the potential to twist it into the blade, causing kickback. So I should have made one more cut at the track saw before getting to this stage. These 2 pieces are the side stiles of the face frame. They'll go from the floor all the way to the top of the project. And this piece down here at the bottom is 5 inches in width. Gives it a lot of material there if you wanted to add some type of baseboard molding or some type of decorative molding down at the bottom. And it gives it a heavier bottom type feel to the project. Makes the bottom feel a little bit more, well, grounded, I guess you could say. The top piece up here is 3 inches wide. There's plenty enough material there for some type of crown molding. I'm not going to add any of that, not anytime soon anyway. And then this center piece is just to divide a top and bottom section. So time for joinery. The quickest, easiest, most efficient joint for face frame construction is pocket holes. I'm using 1/4 inch plywood for the back panels. That means both my side pieces need a rabbet cut on them, and that rabbet will be 1/4 of an inch in width about 1/2 inch in height in this orientation, and to do so I'll use the dado stack and the table saw. What I'm doing here is actually a very, very special technique, and what I like to call it is accidentally cutting your shelving material about 1/4 inch too narrow, and therefore having to remove an extra 1/4 inch off of the side panels to compensate for that stupid mistake. And more pocket holes for the stationary shelves. So completely by coincidence, the back panel needs to be the exact same size as my workbench because I flipped it up here with the rabbets facing down and the rabbets completely straddle the workbench. So however wide my workbench is, that's how wide the back panel needs to be. But now we can attach the face frame with just glue and brad nails. Next up is the shelf pins, and to add those, I need to put the whole case on its side. To drill the shelf pin holes, I'm using a shelf pin drilling template, and this particular one is made by Rockler Woodworking and Hardware. They are a partner of mine and supporting this video, but this jig is one that I bought, or template is one that I bought sometime in the, I guess it was the summer of 2008 when I first started woodworking. So I've had this for a while and I've put a lot of miles on it. It's just a very basic template that produces accurate shelf pin holes very easily. So you've got some different options with this template. There is a row of holes closest to the camera over here and closest to this edge that is spaced away from this edge 1 7/16 of an inch. And then this row of holes over here is spaced 2.5 inches away from this back edge. So depending on which reference face you want to use, long face of the template, you'll get a different spacing on your holes. I'm going to use the shorter distance over here. And the way that this works is there is a line of holes here in the middle that we will actually be drilling with, and then a pair of indexing holes down here at the bottom, or on each end I should say. So this is the bottom of the case, and I'm going to start with my first hole somewhere around 9 inches, which I put a little mark right here to let me know, and I'll start drilling the holes until I run out of template. At that point you can take, where'd it go, one of these shelf pins themselves, move the template so that your first hole, or any hole you want, is lined up with the indexing holes. Then you take the pin itself, index it off of that hole, and then you can finish drilling out as needed and repeat the process to go up as far as you want. It's a very simple process. The drill bit itself is one that comes with it, and it is a spring-loaded brad point bit. So there's a bushing down here that indexes off of the template, and as you push down, you get a nice clean hole created by a brad point drill bit. Now, I've had this one for quite a while, but it still works just fine. There's no need of me getting another one. Rockler, like I said, is supporting this video. They sent me another one to use. It's brand new. There's no need in me opening up a brand new one when this one works just fine. So if you want to get this one for free, then check out the website article for this video, and I'll give it away over there on my website. The back panel is just a piece of MDF core 1/4 inch plywood, so there's a veneer on either side, which in this case doesn't matter at all because it's all going to be painted white or colored white with white polyurethane. But I just wanted to make sure it fits before I start all of the busy work. I'm not going to attach it just yet. And that busy work consists of flush trimming the face frame sides with the bookcase sides, sanding down all of the nail holes and imperfections that were filled, priming everything with a white poly undercoat, and then applying a few coats of satin white poly. This is General Finishes white polyurethane. Both the white poly primer as well as the white poly finish. So it's not painted white, and this will give me a more of a durable finish than, say, like a latex paint. And finishing is never been my most enjoyable process. I know a lot of people like the finishing process. I don't. It's just a messy process. Well, a process can't be messy. The person doing that process can be messy, and I'm messy with the finishing process. Anyway, everything is white. Everything is good. The back panel's over here. I'm going to leave the back panel off until I get the shelves completed. That way I can really fine-tune their width. And speaking of shelves, we need to add some solid wood edge banding, and for that, I'm going to use Bubinga. All of my office furniture is painted white, and the accent wood is going to be Bubinga. Now this piece, basically from here to here is what I need. This section is free of any defects. It is nice and straight grain, and the cool thing is it's rift sawn, so on this face over here, it's also nice straight grain. This is going to give me a lot of consistency as the piece goes from the front face to the top of the shelf. And I don't need all of this. I should be able to save what will look like a long turning blank, or a few turning blanks over here. But I'm just going to run through the milling process, cut some dados, and glue these onto the fronts of the shelves. It's always a little difficult trying to show an overall image of something, or an overall shot of something primarily vertical on video format, which is primarily horizontal. But this turned out great. I was originally planning on making 2 of these, but my office it's so small and it's so crammed as it is. And if I make 2, then I'm just gonna fill it full of clutter. So I decided to just go with 1 and see if that'll get me by. I think it will, because all I'm using these for is to send out, or to store stuff that I send out, like shirts and hats and such. But turned out great. I really like the clean look of this. It's very basic. It's nothing but rectangles, basically. Well, actually it is. And I don't know, it's just visually striking to me. I guess because there's such a contrast with the Bubinga, which also looks fantastic. Anyway, thanks to Rockler Woodworking and Hardware for supporting this video. And if you want to win that shelf pin drilling template, then be sure to check out the article for this video. I'm not sure how I'll do the giveaway for that, but I'll figure it out. Oh yes, this one last thing. I cut this little template out on the CNC machine. I forgot to show this. I just came out here and started working. But this little template matches the baseboard in that room pretty much. And I used this template clamped to the side of the bookcase so I could route out, using a flush trim bit, route out this profile in the back bottom corner of the sides so that it will push all the way up against the wall and slide over the baseboard rather than bumping into the baseboard and being like inch or so away from the wall. I just completely forgot to show this, so I did that with this template. But anyway, thanks again to Rockler. You guys take care. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video.